Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome back to math. So today we are still continuing our understanding of fractions, but we are adding number lines. So we're going to start off with today's learning target. I can represent fractions of halves, fourths, and eighths as distances from 0 on a number line. All right, so boys and girls, we're going to be focusing on how to identify fractions on a number line. But before we get into that, as you can see, I'm going to show you how fractions are used in a strip diagram first so that you can better understand how it's used on a number line. So let's go ahead and get started. Each fraction names a point on a number line. Name the missing fractions on the number line below by answering question 1 to 3. So we're going to first look at the strip diagram. So remember, fractions talk about part of one whole, okay? So for the number one is broken up into 8 pieces. So that is why the unit fraction, remember boys and girls from our vocabulary word from yesterday, unit fraction. So 1/8 is the unit fraction of this, how many times it is cut up. So we have 1/8. So that means that one big whole is cut up into 8 pieces. So let's just double check. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is correct. And remember, each part that is cut up represents 1/8, a unit fraction. And then if we were to add all these up or add certain parts up, that would give us other different types of fractions, which we will see in just a moment on a number line. So it's really important for you to visually understand how a whole number is divided into fractions. So we're going to use this to kind of help us understand how it looks on a number line. So we're going to just scooch down just a little bit. Okay, so now, making sure I'm going to use a different colored pen. So this is our number line. I'm going to be using a marker instead, so just hang on a second, boys and girls. There we go. Using a highlighter. So this is our number line. And a number line, we go in order from left to right, going in number order. So as you can see, we're starting with the number 0, okay? And then we're ending with the whole number 1. But as you can see, we broke up this number line into 8 parts, okay? Because the denominator says 8, that means that is the total amount of pieces that the whole number is cut up into. So that is why we are using 8. So as you can see, 1/8 for a number line is matched up right here. So when we start on a number line, remember that when we go from 0 to the next part, this line right here is where we start counting. We go 1. So this is 1/8. This part right here represents on the number line 1/8. So this is 1/8. Then we were to jump over. This is the second marker, which is 2/8. Because remember, if you add 1/8 plus 1/8, that gives us 2/8. And then we would keep going. So then we jump a third time. That would be 3/8. And then so on. So we have a piece that is missing right here and a piece that is missing right here. So answering our question right here, how many equal lengths is the distance between 0 and 1 divided into? Ooh, look at all these words that are going to help us. We have equal lengths and divided into. So boys and girls, I already went over this, but I'm going to say it again so that you can understand it. How many equal lengths, so each part is an equal length, is the distance between 0 and 1 divided into. So what is the number line? How many times is it divided into? Look at the denominator. How many pieces is it divided into? 8. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. From 0 to 1, this particular number line is broken up into 8. All right. Now this is just a further explanation of what we just solved. Since the distance between 0 and 1 is divided into 8 equal lengths, each length is 1/8 of the whole length. Okay, so each piece represents 1/8, and when we add them all up, it will add up to a whole number. That's what this is trying to explain. So let's go ahead and continue on now. To name the first missing fraction, count by 8s. So that is what we did a little bit up here a moment ago, but we didn't finish. So why don't we go ahead? Because we have 1/8, then count here, then we went to 2/8, we went to 3/8, and then if we add again, what would be going here? How many 8s would this missing piece be? Jumps from 3 to 5. Look at the numerator. What piece is missing? 4. Because we keep adding on. 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4/8 was the missing piece because we would jump from here. Okay? So to name the first missing fraction, count by 8s. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8. Okay? So then you would write 4/8 in the first box above. So it's just explaining what we just did. As you notice, boys and girls, we're going slow and breaking down so that you fully understand the illustration with the actual problem, so that you can fully understand how fractions are supposed to be represented. All right, 3. To name the next missing fraction, you need to keep counting. So just like you would on a regular number line, you just keep adding and counting, okay? Because we are going from left to right. When we go that way, we are adding. If we were going the other way, we'd be subtracting. So we were here, so we went to 4/8. Now we're going to 5/8. And then what comes after 5? 4/8, 5/8. 6/8. Because if we were to add 1/8 plus 1/8 plus 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6/8. And that's how you solve that. Write 6/8 in the second box above, just like that. Okay. We're going to keep going, and we're going to see slightly different problems, but we are still working with number lines. So let's go ahead. I'm going to scooch this up just a little bit. Let's zoom in to number 4. There we go. Okay. Number 4. Which fraction is being represented by the dot? Circle your answer. All right, so we need to look for a dot. Oh, there's a dot right here. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger so that you can see it. Okay, so our dot was right here. And look how this is broken up for us, just like it was up here. So we have our number line. Our number line starts at 0 and goes to 1. Okay, so how many pieces is this broken into? Let's use this illustration to help us. 1, 2, 3. So in order to get from 0 to 1, it took us 3 jumps. So that is why we have 1/3, because the unit fraction for a whole that is broken up into 3 pieces, each unit would be called 1/3. So if our dot is right here, we have our tally marks, okay? We are going to add our 1/3 together to find out our final answer. So we have 1/3 plus 1/3. So we need to add 1/3 plus 1/3, which would get us what answer? Would 1/3 plus 1/3 get us 1/3, 2/3, or 3/3? Use your jump. 1, 2, 2/3. Okay, and that's how you would solve 4, 4. Now let's look at number 5. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see 5. Whoop, see 5 a little bit. There we go. All right, and then we'll go zoom in. There we go. Okay, number 5. The number line shows how far Glenn, Ned, and Lewis ran in a 1-mile race. Write a fraction that shows how far Ned and Lewis ran. We had 3 friends. We're only focusing on 2 of them, okay? So we have Ned. So let's understand and read our number line here before we get started. So the starting point, obviously 0, because you started 0. And then it looks like, let's count how many times this is broken up into from 0 to 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is broken up into 4 equal pieces. So with that being said, we can already say that our denominator is going to be 4 for Ned and Lewis. All right, so now we're going to read the label. So here's our starting point. Then we made 1 jump, and then that's 1/4. That's Ned stopped here. Oh, well, there you go. The answer for Ned is that he ran 1/4 of a mile. That's how he would explain that. Because that's where he stopped and he didn't finish the race. Ned stopped here, so he only ran 1/4 of a mile. And that's it. Let's take a look at Lewis. So he went from 1/4, then to 2/4, then, so this is Lewis. He stopped here, but we need to find out what is missing. So remember, our unit fractions. How much is each piece? Each piece is 1/4. And since we already know that this is 1, this is 2, we would just need to add 1 more 1/4. So 2/4 plus 1/4 would get us what? Remember, denominator stays the same. You only add the numerator, the top numbers. What is it? 2 plus 1 is 3. So Lewis ran 3/4 of a mile. And that, boys and girls, is how you solve this problem, making sure that when you are counting on a number line, you start here, but you don't say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, you go, start here, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's really important, boys and girls. It is a math rule, and you just need to follow it, okay? All right, so I'm going to zoom out here. So if you notice at the very top of this page, it says that the focus part of our lesson is going to be numbers 1 through 5. The next part is going to be the guided. So what that means is, boys and girls, you need to make sure you have this printed out already so that you can follow along with me in the video so that you can better understand how to solve this when you go off on your own. So now we're going to be working on numbers 6 through 10. And boys and girls, you're going to be following along with me and filling out the sheet to help you. Okay. So, going to need to zoom in again. There we go. All right, so number 6. Always read the directions. Label the number line to show this fraction. Okay. Let me zoom in a little bit more. All right, number 6. Here we go. So for 6, our fraction is 5/8. So let's make sure that our number line is cut up into 8 equal parts. So let's check. So we have from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have 8 equal parts that divide all the way up from 0 to 1. Okay, now we need to find out which one is number 5 because the bottom number, denominator, tells us how much total is it cut up into. And number 5 tells us where it is located on the number line. So let's go ahead and double check. And remember, boys and girls, the unit fraction that is cut up into 8 pieces, what is it? 1/5. So each part is 1/5. Adding up 1/5. Okay, so now, let's find out where 5/8 would be located on this number line. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5/8 would be at that location because 0 plus 1/5 gives us 1/5 right here. 1/5 plus 1/5 gets you 2/5. 2/5 plus 1/5 gets you 3/5. And then so on. 4/5, 6. And then, oh, 8s. My bad. It's supposed to be 8. Ooh, there we go. And 7/8. Okay, so 5/8 is located here because we made sure we added and we made sure each part was labeled correctly. All right, number 7. And remember, if you need to pause this video at any time, make sure that you do so. All right, number 7. All right, we need to find out where 4/6 is. So let's make sure that we have 6 equal pieces that get from 0 to 1. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we're good there. Okay, so knowing that we are working with a denominator of 6, each unit part we would be adding 1/6. Okay, and remember, we always start from 0, but we count, starting counting right here. So that would be 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6. So 4/6 would be located there on the number line. And that's all that we do, boys and girls. Let's keep working. Okay. 8. Oh, there's directions here. Always read directions before you move on. Make tick marks on number line, then label the point. Okay, so we're going to have to actually make the number line. So we need to find out how many equal parts for this one. So it tells us we have 2 equal parts, so half. All right, so if we're going to make equal parts, I'm going to start right here because then it jumps from 1, 2. 2 equal parts. Check. So then, this is another way of saying this is half. So, yeah, so this is another way. So this is pronounced 1/2. So half is literally right here. The only tally mark that's in the middle. Half. 2 equal parts, half of that. Okay. All right, number 9. All right, now this one's telling us 4 equal parts. Okay, so remember, we're going to start. If it's not perfect, it's okay, boys and girls. So we'll just go, we got 0, then we'll do 1, 2, 3, and this one counts as the last one, 4. Boys and girls, that's really important for you to understand, okay? The denominator, the last part, should end up on the whole number. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And going back over here, 1, 2, okay? It's really important that you understand that when we have 4 equal parts, the whole number is where you end up with the last number in the denominator, okay? All right, so we broke it up. We have 4 equal parts. Now we need to find 2/4. So I'm going to go down this way. So we're going to do 1/4, 2/4. So 2/4 would be right here because we broke it up into 4 pieces. So each part is worth 1/4. And you add 1/4 to each part because 1/4 plus 1/4 equals 2/4. And that's where we'd be located, boys and girls. Okay, last question before you go off on your own. James put a point at 3/8 on a number line. Which number line shows 3/8? So this is where we need to be very careful, boys and girls, and make sure that we count how many it's cut up into. Always look at the denominator first. Cut up into 8 pieces, okay? So let's take a look. So let's look at A. So we start here, but we start counting here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. That it's not 8, so A cannot be correct. Let's check B. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not cut up into 8 pieces, so that's not going to work either. Well, C, I can already see that it's not going to work because there's only 1, 2, 3. Look at the denominator. The denominator tells you, boys and girls, that how much it is cut up into, okay? Really important that you do not mix these numbers up. Yes, this is at 3, but that's not the total. We're looking at the denominator first, okay? So then C wouldn't be correct, but let's just double check with D just to make sure. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Denominator is 8. Very good. Our dot, let's double check, because remember, each part is 1/8, adding 1/8 to each part. So we go 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. So D is our correct answer to number 10 because the denominator tells us how much it is divided between 0 and 1, and the numerator tells us the exact location where to find our actual fraction answer. Okay, boys and girls, this concludes today's lesson on fractions using number lines. Now you're going to go back into Schoology and complete the following assignments. If you need to rewatch this video, you may do so that you can further understand. And if you are still struggling, even after watching this video a couple of times, you may go onto Schoology and meet with your teacher on Zoom at 9 a.m. She will be able to help you. All right? It has been a pleasure teaching you today, and I will talk to you later. Bye!